Hello, friends, and welcome back to TJKidz Super Fun Stories, where imagination becomes reality. Today's tale is about a boy named Peter who wanted a pet more than anything in the world. But when he couldn't get a dog, a cat, or even a fish, he ended up discovering something surprising that he never would have expected. Let's find out what happens. So grab a comfy spot, get cozy, and join me for this adventure. Peter and his pet plant. Peter had always wanted a pet, a real one, preferably one with fur, a household companion he could care for, play with, and build a bond with. A dog, a cat, a hamster, even a fish would have been fine. He wasn't picky. He just wanted something alive that wasn't his sister. But Peter's parents always said no. No pets, Mom would say. What about a fish? Peter would ask. No, not even a fish, Mom responded. One day, Peter asked again. Why not a fish, Mom? They barely do anything. Because, sweetheart, Mom replied, I have a hard enough time just getting you to keep the plant alive outside, the one you promised to take care of. Peter rolled his eyes. Mom, that's not a pet. It's a plant. Well, Mom replied, if you can't even keep a plant alive, how are you going to care for a pet? Now go on, she needs water. Look at her leaves. They're drooping and turning yellow. Her? Peter muttered. Really? It's a plant, not a princess. But he stomped outside anyway, grumbling the whole way to the back porch. The plant sat in the corner of the screened-in patio, looking sad and floppy. Peter grabbed the watering can. It's not fair, he mumbled to himself. I have to sit here and water you all the time, and you're not even grateful. You just expect it. No licks, no cuddles, no tricks. I'm just your servant. He poured water into the soil. Here's your stupid drink. Don't slurp it all up in one day. I've got important things to do. He set the watering can down and marched back inside. For a few days, Peter forgot all about the plant again. Then, one afternoon, Mom called from upstairs. Peter, did you feed the plant? Peter stopped mid-step, just as he was about to head out the front door. He groaned. I was about to go play. I'll do it tomorrow. The plant won't last until tomorrow, Mom shouted. Look at her. She's barely alive. Peter sighed loud enough for Mom to hear from upstairs and stomped toward the back porch. Fine, he muttered. I'll feed the stupid plant. Just after he pushed open the porch door, he heard something. It was a quiet voice, almost a whisper. Could I please have a drink? I'm really thirsty. Peter's eyes grew big. He looked around. Amelia? Is that you? But his sister wasn't anywhere nearby. He walked closer to the plant. Hello? The voice came again. Down here, please? Just a little water? Peter jumped back. No way! He was sure the voice was coming from the plant. Are you talking to me? He asked the plant. Yes, the voice said. I'm very thirsty. You forgot about me. Peter rubbed his eyes and smacked his cheeks. What's going on? Plants don't talk, he said. Well, the voice replied. Maybe not to everyone, but I'm talking to you. Peter stared at the plant. This is impossible, the plant repeated. Can I have some water, please? Okay, here, Peter said as he grabbed the watering can and poured water into the soil. Oh, the voice replied. Thank you. That feels wonderful. Peter looked at the plant, then looked around again. This is crazy. But the plant kept talking. It asked him questions, made some jokes, and even teased him a bit. It complained about the heat and asked him why he never watered it on time. It took Peter a while to believe the plant was actually talking to him, but eventually he did. She told him that she was female, just like Mom had thought. He even named her Planty. And slowly but surely, Planty was becoming the pet he always wanted. Every day after school, Peter rushed to the porch to talk to her. He carried her around the house. He brought her to his room. He sat her next to him while he played video games. He even took her to the driveway when he played basketball, so she could watch. Planty seemed to love it too, and she loved talking. Peter, she'd say, can we go to the living room today? I like the sunlight there. Or, Peter, what's your favorite color? Mine is green, obviously. One time she said something that Peter thought was a little strange. Peter, why do you think your sister is so awesome? Huh? Peter replied. What makes you say that? She's super annoying. Oh, Planty said. Never mind. I just thought she seemed cool. Peter didn't know how Planty got that idea, but he shrugged it off. Mom had noticed the change in Peter. You've been doing such a good job taking care of the plant, she said one morning. It's Planty, Peter corrected. Mom giggled. Oh, my mistake. Planty. One afternoon, Peter's sister, Amelia, had some friends over. Peter couldn't help but notice them pointing and laughing at him, carrying Planty around the yard. Is he seriously talking to a plant? One friend whispered. Amelia smirked. He thinks it talks back to him. They all burst into laughter. Then Amelia whispered something to all of her friends, and they laughed even harder. Peter stormed inside, feeling embarrassed. Later that week, Peter was talking to Planty on the porch when he noticed something strange. He saw a shadow in the window. He turned and looked inside. It was Amelia. She was holding something. It looked like their old baby monitor. Amelia was speaking into it. And at the exact same time, Planty's voice came out of the pot. Peter's heart thumped fast. He crouched down and peered into Planty's soil. Sure enough, a baby monitor camera had been hidden inside the pot this whole time. He yanked it out, dirt flying everywhere, and stormed back inside. Amelia, he shouted. Amelia jumped, dropping the baby monitor. Oh my gosh, she laughed. You should have seen your face. Peter's blood was boiling. You tricked me? Amelia laughed harder. You were talking to a plant, carrying it around like your little teddy bear that you pretend talks to you. It was hilarious. Peter didn't speak for a moment. He couldn't tell if he was more angry or just sad. Planty was my friend, he said softly. I did you a favor. Amelia replied. That plant was about to die because you never watered it. You're welcome. Peter grabbed Planty and ran to his room, slamming the door. He set her down gently. It was all fake, he whispered. You weren't even real. I feel like my whole life is a lie. He didn't water her that night. He didn't talk to her the next day. He didn't even look at her. Planty's leaves began drooping again. A few days later, Peter sat on his bed staring at the floor. I wish you really were real, he whispered. And then he heard something, but not with his ears. It was like he didn't need ears to hear it. A soft voice, not Amelia's voice, a calm, gentle voice. Peter? Peter's head shot up. What? The plant's leaves rustled. I'm thirsty. Peter stepped closer to Planty. But Amelia's not here. She's at camp, he mumbled. I know, the voice said, but I really am thirsty. Peter ran to the bathroom, filled a cup with water, and hurried back. He poured it into Planty's soil. I'm sorry, girl, he said. Here you go. Am I imagining this right now? Thank you, Planty said softly. No, you're not imagining. You're hearing me, the real me. But plants don't talk, Peter said. Not with mouths, Planty replied. We sing in tiny vibrations. You usually can't hear us, but you cared for me. You fed me. You spent time with me. And now your mind can understand my song. So, you really can hear me? Peter asked. Like, for real? I always could, Planty said. You just couldn't hear me. Not until you got on my wavelength. What's a wavelength? Peter asked. Like a radio or television, Planty said. Instead of watching different channels, we're tuned to the same one now. What channel is that? Peter asked. The cuckoo channel? Love, Planty replied. Peter touched her leaves gently. I'm sorry I stopped talking to you and caring for you. I know, Planty said, but I'm still here. Peter smiled. I'm glad. Later that afternoon, Amelia walked onto the porch. She saw Peter talking to the plant again and rolled her eyes. Seriously? You're still doing that? It was just a prank. You need to get over it. Peter looked at her calmly. I can hear her, and she can hear me. Amelia walked off. Whatever. A few days later, Peter left for camp, a weekend trip with Dad and some friends. Amelia wandered onto the porch alone. She looked at the plant, now bright green and healthy. She sighed. Well, it would be cool if you actually talked, but I'm glad my brother is finally taking care of you. You look really healthy and happy, and that makes me happy. A soft voice replied. Thanks, Amelia. You look great too. Amelia didn't speak for a moment. She turned around quickly. Peter? Very funny. Her mom called from the kitchen. Peter's not even home. He's at camp. Amelia slowly turned back to the plant. So, was that really you? She whispered. My brother's not crazy after all? Or maybe I'm crazy. Planty's gentle voice replied. You're not crazy, Amelia. You are perfectly in tune, Amelia called to Mom inside. Mom? Can plants talk? Mom laughed. Anything's possible, dear. Amelia looked back at Planty. Well, I'm glad Peter got the pet he always wanted. I don't know if you're really talking to me or if I'm just imagining. Either way, I'm happy to take care of you while Peter's away. The end. And that's the end of our story for today, friends. Oh boy, Peter spent all that time wishing for something amazing and special. Something that he could bond with and call his pet. And the whole time, it was sitting right there on the porch, just waiting for him to slow down long enough to notice. And that leads me to a moral I learned from this story. Beauty is all around us, in nature, in our homes, in the people we love. Sometimes life gets busy, and we rush from one thing to the next. And when we don't slow down, we can miss the wonderful things that have been right in front of us the whole time, just waiting for us to pay attention. What did you learn? Something different? Well, that's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Toodles!